meeting. Tonight's agenda. President Marty Trish is going to open with a welcome and purpose, followed by the presentation from the Blue Ribbon Commission. Then we'll have other updates, and Dr. Gary Hecox will give a situational update as well. At this time, I'd like to present Mr. Marty Trish.
Thank you very much. I'll be brief because we have a long meeting tonight. First off, I want to welcome the Blue Ribbon Commission to Assumption Parish. We appreciate you agreeing to participate on such a commission in the effort to hopefully assist us in finding out what's going on in Viacon and what are the resolutions, if any, that can be made. We thank you. We appreciate you coming here to personally visit the site, look at the problem, and now tonight to meet some of the residents and property owners of Viacon that this problem has affected. As I stated at the initial meeting we had in Baton Rouge at the opening session, this matter affects real people. We have a lot of scientific community represented here with the various disciplines that are represented, some of the brightest and best, most world-renowned experts in the fields that affect the Viacon sinkhole. But as I told them at the initial meeting, I'm an attorney by trade, and a lot of times when we take law school exams, we think about things and they provide examples and tests to us that it's just fact. We theorize and talk about what may be. But I asked them at the opening session to understand that this is not an exam. Although you bring a lot of academic strength to this situation, this is not an academic examination. This is not a test. Although it may pique your curiosity, and for those that have the PhDs and expertise, may be very interesting to you. At some point in time, these people sitting here are the residents. They're living with it, dealing with this on a daily basis. This is their lives that's been affected. This is their property. This is their businesses that have been affected. So we appreciate you coming, but we want you to understand that with this acceptance of this responsibility to be on this commission, we are relying upon you all. We at the local level do not have the expertise or the background to be able to answer these people's questions. When the governor's office called upon you to assist us, we wholeheartedly accepted that and welcome your help. But we are relying upon you all to look into the questions of what has happened here. What are the solutions? Is it safe to go home? Will it be safe to go home? When will it be safe to go home, if ever? As I said at the opening session, all we've asked is that we want to know the honest truth that you can best give us using your expertise and your experience. We are not here to run home early. We're not rushing to go home. We want to make sure that when decisions are made about going home, if and when people can return home, that it's safe and we have the best expertise and the best opinions available. We are here relying upon you. It's a tough responsibility. You're here to represent, and please represent and understand we are relying upon you. So please consider that. We know you've taken your responsibility serious. We appreciate you being here. On behalf of these citizens of Viacon and Assumption Parish, we thank you for being here. But ultimately, at the end of the day, just give us the truth as to what's going on, what has happened, and what we can do in the future to move forward past this event. Thank you very much, and I'll turn it back over to the moderator.
Thank you, Mr. Trish. At this time, I'd like to introduce you to the commission members that have been selected to serve on this commission. First, we have from Palisson, France, Dr. Pierre Barres. From Albuquerque, New Mexico, Dr. David Barnes. He was with us until an hour ago. He had to fly out. We also have Mr. J.C. Chamberlain, Bayou Corn property owner. Dr. Randall Charbonneau, who just caught a flight as well, from Austin, Texas. Mr. Doug Duncan from Reston, Virginia. Dr. Blaine Hartman from San Diego, California. Dr. Gary Hecox, Park City, Utah. Dr. James Lynn, Albuquerque, New Mexico. Dr. Dennis O'Carroll, Ontario, Canada, who you will hear from in just a few minutes. Dr. Will Pettit from Minneapolis, Minnesota, who you will also hear from momentarily. Dr. John Roger Smith from LSU, Baton Rouge. Dr. Thomas Van Deersel from Baton Rouge. Mr. John Voigt, Clark Summit, Pennsylvania. These individuals were given a call to do something very important. And this purpose outlined their involvement. Governor Bobby Jindal directed the Department of Natural Resources to establish a commission in consultation with the Office of Conservation, the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness, senior technical staff, technical consultants, and local officials to provide appropriate benchmarks to Assumption Parish officials and the Unified Command Group regarding the mandatory evacuation order and the conditions in the area surrounding the sinkhole along the western edge of the Napoleonville Salt Dome in Assumption Parish, Louisiana. This body has duties. They will recommend on what safety benchmarks should be and when they have been met, sufficiently to recommend that conditions are safe for the public. They will also recommend regarding any long-term monitoring measures determined necessary to ensure the long-term safety of the public in the area. They will assist Assumption Parish officials in deciding when community members may safely return to the evacuation area. They will also determine the conditions necessary to ensure that appropriate benchmarks are met. They will identify additional data needs and prepare a report with these recommendations. This is to give you an illustration of how they're going to operate. This Blue Ribbon Commission on Bayou Corn and Grand Bayou Public Safety will report to DNR, Assumption Parish, the Governor's Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Preparedness, and the Commissioner of Conservation. As Mr. Trish mentioned, a local parish just does not have the kind of expertise that this requires. And so this commission was brought together to help Assumption Parish. This commission was formed in late March 2013 and held its first meeting early April 2013. At this kickoff meeting, we reviewed the purpose. Dr. Gary Hecox gave us a situational update of what's been going on, and we were pleased that 100% of these commissioners rose to the occasion and attended either in person or via video conference. Our second meeting was a conference call held on April 11th, and I'm pleased to report that 12 of the 13 commission members participated in that conference call, and that brought us to this week, Monday, 3-day workshop that these individuals came into your community, and we've been welcomed with open arms, and we thank you. This is a glimpse of their agenda. As you can see, from sunup to sundown and past sundown, we've been trying to get subject matter experts in front of this group to have them understand exactly what's going on. What are the details? What are the facts? What is the science that is known to this point? And that gives you a glimpse of the last 3 days. We started Monday morning off with the Bayou Corn and Grand Bayou site visit. It started off with a briefing from Mr. John Boudreau, the incident commander, who's been giving this group information from day one. There was a lot of information gathered and presented to us at this site. We'd like to thank GOSEP and the State Police for providing aerial support. All of the commissioners were able to not only get a ground tour, but also were able to get in the air and to learn more. I'd like to thank the Sheriff of Assumption Parish for providing the boats that we actually took out. And Mr. Boudreaux toured the Bayou Corn area with this group and showed them bubble sites and the longevity of these sites. That was followed by a ground tour where the commission members actually went on to the central site and were able to ascertain first-hand information. And we concluded the ground tour by going through the community. Following the site visit, there were subject matter experts that have been presenting to these commissioners data reports, data findings, historical manifestos, and this has been ongoing since Monday. The two main areas, as presented in the charter that I referenced earlier, there are two main areas of focus for this commission. The first is stability, and the second is gas migration and removal. These individuals were selected because of their expertise in these two primary areas, and this is what has been taking place. This group has further been broken down, and those individuals that wanted to cross-migrate between those two areas had the opportunity to do so, but really trying to focus in very deeply, and that's what we're going to talk about momentarily. The gas discussion, the stability discussion, and what is it that is needed in order for those two groups to really give you the information that you need. At this time, I'll ask Dr. Dennis O'Carroll to come forward and to present the gas information.